Hey guys, it is day 5 of going through Ephesians, and our topic today is giving joyfully and generously, brought to you by Alyssa and I. So the main verse that we're going to be focusing on is Ephesians 4 verse 28, which says, "If you are a thief, quit stealing. Instead, use your hands for good, hard work, and then give generously to others in need." So if you haven't been here or you don't exactly know what the context behind Ephesians 4:28 is, I'll let you know, I'll tell you. So we're talking about a valuable, highly practical explanation of how to basically live out the Christian life. Paul is explaining the difference between a life of lying around under the power of sin and a life thriving in the power of Christ. Christians are called to put away the things that not unbelievers, including sins like slander, bitterness, and causing trouble in between people for no reason. Instead, we should demonstrate Christ-like attitudes of love and forgiveness, as well as having attitudes of giving joyfully and generously.
Okay. Hey! Okay. Our first point to go over is what our focus as Christians should be. So Matthew 6:19 through 21 says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moths nor rust destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be." 1 Timothy 6:18 through 19. "Commend them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, and to be generous and willing to share. In this way they will store up a good foundation for the time to come, and will take hold of the life that is truly life." And then lastly, 1 Timothy 6:9 through 10. "But those who want to be rich fall into temptation and into a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil." So this is pertaining more so to those who are wealthy or are simply able to give more than others. So your focus as Christians should not be on wanting money. It should not be on loving money. It should be focusing on honoring God and loving others.
Okay. Point number 2 is having faith that the Lord will provide. As it says in Mark 12 verses 41 through 44. Jesus sat down near the collection box in the temple and watched as the crowds dropped in their money. Many rich people put in large amounts. Then a poor widow came and dropped in 2 small coins. Jesus called his disciples to him and said, "I tell you the truth. This poor widow has given more than all the others who are making contributions, for they gave a tiny part of their surplus. But she, poor as she is, has given everything she had to live on." Jesus is discussing with his disciples that even when you don't have a lot, or it doesn't seem like you have a lot, you still have a part to play in giving. You should be willing to give generously, showcasing your trust in God that he will provide for you. As well, don't act like the Lord owes you anything once you give. It's called giving generously for a reason. The Lord commended the woman because of her heart, willing to give all she had to honor God. Then the religious people who were supposedly dedicated to God's service. You may think that since people have a lot more money or stuff to give to God that they are being more generous. But in reality, they are giving 10% of what they got compared to the 100% you can give to the Lord.
And our third point is to love others as yourself. Mark 12:31 says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." John 13:34, "A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another." 1 John 4:7, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love comes from God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God." 1 John 4:11, "Beloved, if God has loved us, we also ought to love one another." Think of how God has loved us. God has given us infinite grace and mercy, and He gave His own Son to die for us. So, in this verse, if we are to love others as God has loved us, we are to give generously, just as He did for us.
Now we're leading to the conclusion. So our conclusion is treat the least of these as if they are Jesus. So Matthew 25 verses 34 through 40 say, "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you brought me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me.' Then these righteous ones will reply, 'Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink, or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?' And the king will say, 'I tell you the truth, when you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it for me.'"
Yeah. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was a blessing. I hope that God spoke to you in some way, and I pray that you will have a great rest of your day. Yeah.
Bye-bye.